If it was a gathering of people, then yes, we would make a public notification if we felt like the community was at risk.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Gitsky. We start with new confirmed cases of coronavirus here in Kern County. At a news conference about an hour ago, Kern Public Health announced that there are now 29 total cases. With that, 17's Karen Wall was at the news conference and joins us live with what was discussed. Karen?
That's right. The confirmed numbers we just got here, 29 positive cases of coronavirus here in Kern County. 28 of those are residents and 1 is a non-resident. Most of these cases are in Bakersfield West, 19 out of those 29. Now, we know many of you have questions about these cases, and there's a lot public health cannot disclose. Some because of HIPAA restrictions and some because they are still investigating. Like, why are there so many cases in Bakersfield West? Public health says they're still investigating that part. They say all these patients are self-isolating, but they cannot say whether at home or in hospitals. They also can't say whether some of these cases are part of the same household or all separate cases. They also have not given out any age ranges for these patients, and we don't know if or when they will. The bottom line is public health says this spike in cases over the past week is partly due to an increase in testing, but they also want to make very clear there is community transmission here in Kern County, which is why it is so important to stay at home if you can. Now, as for preparedness, some cities around the country have run dangerously low on ICU beds, ventilators, masks, and PPE, but Kern Public Health has repeatedly said that is not the case here. And they say we are prepared if numbers were to spike like in LA County. Now, as for your questions and those answers, I will definitely have more on that coming up for you tonight at 5. But for now, live from Kern Public Health, Karen Hua, 17 News.
Thank you for that, Karen. Well, just like Karen said, coronavirus cases in Kern County have jumped again, pushing that total number to 29. The count rises to 29 when you include a New York woman who has tested positive while visiting Kern County last week. The county has done nearly 1,000 tests for the virus. More than 500 have come back negative, but we're waiting on 370 other tests. And Taft still has 0 positive tests for the COVID-19, but city officials are working alongside Westside Family Health and others to prepare for the possibility of an outbreak. Yesterday, workers erected 2 tents outside of the health clinic, which does not have patient beds. They're also looking at using the Taft High School boys gym if it comes to that. The nearest full-service hospital, Mercy Southwest in Bakersfield, is 37 miles away. Now let's send things over to Kevin Charette for a look outdoors. Kevin, how's it looking out there?
Good afternoon, Nicole. And yeah, we've got some sun, we've got some clouds. We've had some areas that have received more hail earlier this morning. And the snow showers has come to an end, though, into the mountains. As we take a look at the satellite and radar right now, we've got plenty of clouds around the area. Look off to the west, though, and you can see we've already started to see some clearing. So that'll be the case as we go throughout the day. We picked up a little bit of rain, 707 inch out of Meadows Field here at my house, 607 inch Delano and Taft, about 1,507 inch Arvin 400s, and then for the mountains, right around a 1/10 of an inch out in Tehachapi, and lesser amounts in Fraser Park, Lake Isabella, just about a 100th of an inch in Kernville 500s. 51 degrees in Bakersfield right now under a calm wind. As we take a look at Futurecast HD throughout the day here, you can see maybe an isolated thunderstorm developing out on the extreme west side of town between Lost Hills, Buttonwillow, and Taft, and maybe can't rule out even a few isolated snow showers still for the mountains. As we look at the day, upper 50s and then slipping back into the 40s by midnight. We're at 36 in Tehachapi right now, and northwest wind at 12, so a cool day for the mountains, and we're only going to be seeing lower 40s back into the 30s throughout tonight. We are going to be looking at more sunshine heading into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks for that, Kevin. Well, police need your help in finding a robbery suspect. BPD says the man robbed the AMPM at 2301 F Street on February 6th. He's described as white, 28 to 30 years old, 170 to 200 pounds, with a goatee, and was wearing a white and black and blue hat, white t-shirt, and blue jeans. Anyone with information regarding his identity is asked to contact Bakersfield Police Department at 327-7111. And the deadline for states to require real IDs has been extended. The Department of Homeland Security today officially pushed back the enforcement of real ID of a full year due to the coronavirus pandemic. DHS Acting Secretary Chad Wolf released a statement saying, in part, due to circumstances resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic and the national emergency declaration, the Department of Homeland Security, as directed by President Donald J. Trump, is extending the Real ID enforcement deadline beyond the current October 1st, 2020 deadline. The new deadline for states to require Real ID enforcement is now October 1st, 2021. Even before the coronavirus outbreak, it was unlikely states would have met this year's deadline. As of last month, only about 35% of U.S. IDs complied with the Real ID Act, a post-9/11 law that establishes security standards for licenses. And around the nation this afternoon, there are more than 69,000 cases of coronavirus. Yesterday was the deadliest day on record for the United States since the outbreak began. 930 people have died in the U.S. New York is the epicenter of the outbreak in our country, with known cases doubling every few days. Meantime, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti said Southern California is about 6 to 12 days behind New York City. He said that's when he expects a spike in cases and deaths. And as the coronavirus spreads across the country, more and more people are getting tested. Testing has really picked up around Kern County. Here's a short list. Priority Urgent Care says all of its building tests for COVID-19. Accelerated Urgent Care is also testing at its Southwest location. That's on Coffee Road and Stockdale Highway. Omni Health also tests for coronavirus, and local hospitals are testing too. Plus, Dignity Health offers a free online checkup for people with milder symptoms. Reminder, you will only be tested, though, if you are showing symptoms, so make sure to call your doctor first. Once again, we're reminding you of the symptoms of coronavirus. The most common include fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue, and difficulty breathing. Less common symptoms include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Remember, you may be sick with the virus up to 2 weeks before developing symptoms. Keep in mind, flu symptoms are similar, but muscle and joint pain, a runny nose, and headache will be more common for the flu. Meantime, a lot of people have allergies right now, and it's important to remember that although you may want to rub your eyes, do not touch your face. That's how viruses like COVID-19 and the flu can spread. Again, if you think you have symptoms of the coronavirus, you are asked to call your doctor's office before going in. And businesses are giving back to first responders during this time. All Countryside markets are giving free coffee and fountain drinks to first responders and healthcare workers. And Creamistry is offering free ice cream for all first responders and hospital staff while supplies last. Well, due to the limited availability of those products at this time, their free flavors will be limited to chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, and coconut. And we've been telling you that local restaurants are still open during this pandemic. Now we have an even better list of who's serving on our website. It's called Kern County Open. It has grocery stores with special hours for seniors, restaurants doing takeout and delivery and curbside pickup, and so much more. All you have to do is just go to KGET.com to find it. And if you own a restaurant and want to be on the list, just shoot us an email and send it to 17news@kget.com. And a record 3.3 million people in the U.S. have applied for unemployment last week. Up next, we have a look at how the unemployment rate is impacting people in your Business Watch. Welcome back to your 17 Health Watch. Well, a record number of Americans filed for jobless claims last week, 3.3 million. That figure is staggering, the highest number of initial jobless claims in history. We'll give you a sense of just how massive that is. The previous high was less than even a single million. It was 695,000 claims back in 1982. Well, CNN's Jason Carroll takes a look at how it's impacting everyday workers and businesses.
Millions ordered to stay home, and a growing number of people across the country out of work now that more and more businesses have been forced to close.
Frustrating is one word, impossible is another.
Connor Zaft was laid off his production job last week. His savings will last until next month or so. Zaft worries federal efforts to suspend foreclosures won't help people like him because he's a renter.
If you have any sympathy for people like me, please, for the love of God, at least a 90-day rent freeze, at least, minimum, just to let us get back on our feet.
The economic outlook not much better for Uber driver Mokhlis Islam. He's still working, but with so few passengers, he's not sure he will make April's car payment.
Yeah, I'm worried for it's a really big problem right now. I don't have any money in my hand right now.
Word of some businesses hiring has trickled in. Pizza Hut aims to hire more than 30,000 employees, given the increased demand for takeout and delivery. Instacart, the on-demand grocery startup, plans to hire 300,000 more workers to meet surges for grocery deliveries. Still, the national outlook is staggering, and for many people, they're counting on federal help.
Everyone needs that money as quickly as possible. The challenge is you want the money to go out quickly, you want it to be spent well, and sometimes those objectives are somewhat in tension.
For now, closed businesses like the iconic New York City restaurants Cafeteria and Empire Diner have a GoFundMe page for employees.
It's been 2 weeks of sheer financial devastation.
Stacy Pisone says she's had to lay off the entire staff from both restaurants.
Week 2 of this.
Week 2, and how much longer can you sustain this?
Well, it's that's the question. That's the $1 million question, and we really can't sustain it very long.
51 degrees in Bakersfield at this time under a calm wind as we take a look at overnight temperatures. 42 degrees shy of where we should be this time of year. 70 is the normal high. We won't be reaching that today as we take a look at numbers right now. 47 in Delano and Owasco, 39 in Frazier Park, 36 in Tehachapi. And we take a look at the skies and still holding on to some cloud cover, but the more west and north you go, we've started to clear things out. But this afternoon, we may see an isolated thunderstorm from the Buttonwillow Taft area, so we'll be watching for that. We're looking good on the rain so far for the month. We're over 1/2 inch above where we should be, so that's always good to see. And then you look offshore and you can see those puffy clouds. That's an indication of what could come into Kern County later on today, and that would generate a few isolated thunderstorms, but I think it will stay to the west side. We're looking at only 49 in Sacramento today, 62 in Los Angeles and San Diego, mid-50s out of Vegas. And then once the system exits, there is a weak disturbance to the north that'll be tracking in. It's not going to bring any rain our direction, but it will bring some clouds. But that won't be tomorrow. We'll clear this out tomorrow, looking sunny. And then you can see on Saturday, we see some clouds, Saturday, Sunday, but again, the rain remains north, and then we'll start to see on Monday clearing sky, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, some clouds look like they may move back into the area from the south, but again, no rain expected. So here's a look at the big headlines. A chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon on the extreme west side. All of other areas around Kern County should continue to see some clearing, and then we'll look for mid-70s by next Tuesday. For today, temperatures will be relatively mild and right near 58 in Bakersfield, 59 in Delano, 56 in Taft. And then for the mountains and the Kern River Valley, a cool day on tap for you. We're looking at 43 in Frazier Park, Tehachapi at 41, upper 40s out of the Kern River Valley. And then for the desert, we'll look for clearing skies here, a high of 51 in Mojave. Our extended forecast. Tomorrow, 62, some clouds Saturday, Sunday, and then next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when we'll see that warm up. And by Wednesday, right near 80 degrees. How nice. Mountain forecast tomorrow into the 40s, but then rebounding near 70 by next Wednesday. And the Kern River Valley, we'll see a gradual warm up here, back into the 60s early part of next week. And by Wednesday, we're back in the mid-70s. So we have to deal with the cool weather today, but there is a warm-up on the way, which is very nice, Nicole. But overall, it's been a beautiful Thursday. Back to you.
Thanks, Kevin, for that. I'm looking forward to that warm weather as well. Well, college classes are moved online as schools shut down. But what about the students who rely on federal funding? You could be entitled to more money. We'll explain next. Plus, mortgage applications plunge as the coronavirus outbreak continues. Your 17 Business Watch is right after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. In your 17 Business Watch, the coronavirus is hitting the housing market hard. The Mortgage Bankers Association reports that mortgage applications plunged 29.4% last week. People trying to sell homes have canceled showings during the outbreak. And because closings are done in person, economists expect sales will decline sharply. Meanwhile, mortgage rates have actually been rising. Experts say that's partially because lenders are wrestling with capacity issues, backlogs, and the challenge of working remotely in real estate. And whether you have a high school senior or a college student, we have important information regarding financial aid and the impact coronavirus could have on that. By now, many financial aid packages have been sent out, but the amount you received was based on your past finances. Consumer Report Susan Hogan has important information if your income recently took a hit.
On a 75-degree spring day, the campus at George Mason University should be packed with students. But the coronavirus has forced colleges and universities to shut down for the remainder of the school year. The impact goes deep.
This is the time of year where you'll see a lot of those students who are trying to make a decision on where they want to go to school.
Part of that decision includes financial aid reward packages from the colleges and any federal grants or loans parents apply to through FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. But some students could actually now receive more financial aid.
There may be changes in their financial aid status, which may in order help them get some additional funding to pay for their children's school for next year.
In cases where parents lose their job as a result of furloughs or businesses shutting down, financial aid administrators may be able to increase a student's aid.
We're anticipating as we get more into the summer months that we'll probably start receiving some more letters from students and parents in particular explaining about income reductions, job losses.
Parents and students can appeal to the college's financial aid office by simply writing a letter expressing their change of income. They will need proof of job loss or income reduction and will most likely have to also update their FAFSA applications.
And if you have not filed for FAFSA, you really should do it as soon as possible. The deadline is usually June 1st. However, that could change in the coming weeks. And whether you've been laid off from work or forced to work from home, the coronavirus pandemic is hitting people's finances hard. We have tips from a financial expert on how to protect your savings after the break. Welcome back. Well, this morning we were joined by money-saving expert Andrea Warroke to tell us more about what you can do to help create financial security during this time, even things like putting a will together.
If you're over the age of 18, you need a will. A lot of people don't realize that. They think it's something only elderly people or wealthy people need to worry about, but creating your estate plan, which actually creating a will is an estate plan, is essential. It protects your assets, it protects your kids, even your pets. It says who gets your personal belongings and all that. And you could create a will online at sites like trustandwill.com. They make it super easy and affordable. You could create your will in just 10 minutes. It costs $70. You can also create a trust, and that costs $399, and you can do that in 15 minutes. Now, here's the difference. If you have $150,000 in assets, so say you own a home or a combination of a home and your retirement savings, a trust-based estate plan is actually better for you. This also ensures that you get power of attorney and health directives, something you need when you're even alive, and set up your will or trust for your parents. Now is the time to do it.
Okay, so that's a really great idea. You have some time maybe now at home. This is a great time to do it. What about reviewing your bills? This is another thing that we probably all put off doing, looking at that list of what comes out on a monthly basis from our bank account.
Yes, spend time, go through your credit card account, your bank statements, figure out where your money is going, look at those recurring bills. Now, this is a good time to also negotiate with your cable and internet provider. And if you're paying for Hulu or Netflix or looking for even more entertainment options right now while you're home, go to the Kern Library website, get a library card. You can rent digital movies, TV shows, video games, get online tutoring access, get ebooks, all for free.
Wow, what a fantastic idea. And are you saying if I call my cable company or one of my companies and ask them for a lower bill, they may give it to me?
Exactly. Just ask for a promotion. I do this every year. My bill has never changed. I hear people spending, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and you don't have to.
Okay, what about credit cards?
Okay, so if you're carrying a credit card balance, first of all, there is some relief programs out there. They may defer payments if you've lost your job right now. But if you don't and you're carrying a balance, I would typically tell you to put all your money towards that balance so you're not wasting money on interest, but you do need cash in your account. So look for a credit card that's offering 0% interest on balance transfers. You could find these types of promos for anywhere from 12 months up to 21 months. That gives you a great amount of time to pay down that debt without incurring additional interest fees, which ultimately makes it harder to get out of debt. And this will save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Just kind of like free money, saving that money. All right, I love this one. What about your lowering your energy bill with the Ohm Hour? This is so interesting.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so go to Ohm Connect. That's OHM Connect. You link your PG&E account to Ohm Connect. They will then alert you, sending a text message during the evening, usually sometime between 5 and 9 p.m. when they're going to be having an Ohm Hour. This is a time for you then to lower your power. You could shut down your lights or completely turn off your breaker, and then you are going to save on your energy, but they will also pay you after you save. And people are making anywhere from $40 to $500 a month. This is an amazing way to boost your budget.
Now, if you would like to see these tips and other money-saving tips from Andrea, you can follow her on her social media.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.